All right, everyone. Welcome back. As requested, more scrap videos. Haven't done a scrap video in quite some time. Good news, I believe today is the last day that my scrapyard's doing their special Earth Day recycling special, I guess you can say. And they are actually paying more for every single metal, to my knowledge. So I think like copper and stuff like that, they're paying about 15 cents more per pound. So I'm bringing in everything. And hopefully today will be the day that I make the most amount of money ever at the scrapyard. I will go ahead and take apart this ladder. You might see a little bit of an arch that way. So I think this ladder is kind of unsafe. I noticed when I was standing in my house, you can kind of see it. It curves to the right. For a ladder, you probably don't want that. You want the ladder to be as straight as possible. Also, I think two of the steps, I know that one is dented. So, gonna rip this thing apart. But yeah, today's the day. Hopefully bring in a lot of copper. Earth Day was last week, but today should be all right. And yeah, help save the earth. Recycle the metal, recycle stuff, and let's see what we get today. Let's make it a fun one. All right. So what I do now is I generally check on different parts of the ladder. So there's these hooks here, which actually one's broken. This one is. And what I do is I hit it with a magnet. Some of them are steel, some of them are aluminum. And whenever you take something like this into the scrapyard, generally speaking, if it has all these different hooks, different caps on the bottom, they'll give you a different price than if you would have just taken that stuff off. So I'm going ahead and checking if they are aluminum, which they are. It's crazy in terms of the price that you would get. So if this thing, hypothetically speaking, weighed 100 pounds, which it's not even close to 100 pounds, if you would take this in just like this and it weighed 100 pounds, you'd get somewhere around $8 to $10. If you took off the stupid hooks that weighed probably less than a pound, or if a pound, and just figuratively said that it was still 100 pounds, you would make like $40 or $45 for this ladder in scrap. So just by doing like 1 or 2 minutes worth of work to make yourself another $35 or $30 is insane. So that's why I kind of go ahead and just, look over everything and make sure it's all right. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually take this Sawzall and cut this into, probably just cut into half. And the reason why I'm doing that is just so it's very, very manageable at the scrapyard to handle. And just like that, this thing is way more manageable. But I do have this whole setup over here for all my scrap wire. I think it was about 2 days ago. That's just all the insulation. About 2 days ago, I spent probably an hour out here and probably filled half a bucket of Bear Bright by using this wire stripper. I did make a video on that. I think it's got over 20,000 views. So if you haven't checked out that video, you're into scrapping. If you want to know more about this machine, here it is. But yeah, I spent probably about an hour or so. Half this bucket was already filled, but got all this Bear Bright copper, which I figured I will end up taking today. This is all the wire that ended up just being like really dirty. So I figured it'll probably just give me number 1 or number 2, most likely number 2. And this was just a bunch of pieces and mismatch of some of the insulation just wouldn't come off. When doing this wire stripping, you never want to bend your wire like this is. And I had a bunch of pieces like that because it's almost impossible to straighten it out perfectly and then run it through the machine. One thing I've noticed with this is the wire has to be very, very straight. It can't be all bent up. So that's that. But I came out here to grab this wire. I ripped this out of some other kind of unit. I wanted to run it straight through the machine. Pretty decent amount there. In the scrap world, that's a beautiful color. All right, gotta lower the blade. Another thing when using this wire stripper, if you can somehow bolt it down, it'd be 1,000 times better. I think this was a good one. So that's one plastic coating. And then you have another one. The whole trick with this wire stripper is you just have to have the blade at the right angle. But look how easy that just peels out. And then you got a decent chunk right here. Looks nice. All right, so I think we're going to catch it pretty close. I'm hoping to get like $50 for this bucket, maybe $60. Yeah, maybe 60 bucks for this. The fan, like $3 or $4. I have some brass. This is all my number 2 copper. This is my aluminum. And then I don't usually bring in aluminum cans. However, I got this in the trash just a couple days ago, maybe 5 days ago. And it was left out like that on a pile of scrap metal. So hopefully I can at least get, I don't know, 40 cents, 50 cents for that. These things really don't weigh much. And they roughly, I'd say they're about a penny per can in scrap value. We don't have, I don't believe we have a deposit here where you can just bring in those cans to like your local grocery store. Just not a thing here in this state. One thing I also noticed, and what I've heard, is that if you try to bring these in, they have to be sold in that state in terms of if you have a deposit. So whenever they scan the barcode, since I think it's mostly a machine, it has to be sold in that state. So you can't just bring thousands of pounds of aluminum cans from Pennsylvania into New York. And although maybe you'll get maybe $100 in scrap, you might get $500 in deposit. They have to be sold actually in that state. That's what I've heard. I never tried it. I never even been to one of the places that have one of those machines, but it's one of those things. You hear about it on the internet, and that's just the way it is. Alright, so my record, I think, is $124. I really hope I beat that today, so we will see. $124. Hopefully we can get a little bit more than that. Alright, so I made it to the scrapyard. So I was here a couple days ago. They, it looks like they're clearing out a whole area over there, and they're laying down concrete, pouring concrete. Wow, the the iron pile is completely down to nothing right now. So we drop off metal over there. I'll show you guys that. That thing, last I was here, piled high. It's probably for that Earth Week. They're probably getting kicked back too somehow. Who knows? One thing you'll ever notice at scrapyard, it's always really, really loud. Always something going on. Now, when I do it this way, one thing, if you ever go to a scrapyard, you want to always be very organized, all right? So have everything separated. I actually added a bucket of light copper or sheet copper, but be very organized. Don't just put this all into one big box. Have it in individual buckets. Next thing is always try to figure out how he's going to do this. All right. So generally speaking, the bigger stuff I put in first, so like the aluminum, because he will never take that out of the cart. He will leave it in there till the very end and just deduct the cart from the total weight. So that's just aluminum. It also makes it easier for him because then he can just push this around, like he has to push out here and put it in a pile over here, rather than, you know, he takes out one bucket at a time and walks it. If that makes sense. If that makes no sense, I'm with you. It probably didn't make any sense to me either. Alright, looks nice and organized. Nice and organized. This cart weighs 285 pounds. Alright. Hoping for more than $124 for everything. We will see. Now in the iron pile. What do we have out here? Oh. Not a whole lot. I mean, this pile was honestly taller than that machine all the way out to maybe like here, probably 5 days ago, 3 days ago. That is, well, I guess they just moved a lot of inventory in terms of iron, steel. moved a lot of that. That actually is not a propane tank. That is, I think, for helium, like balloons. You have a party, that like pink red thing. But in terms of like treasure out here, not a whole lot. Concrete got all broken up there. Not a whole lot. One small rule of thumb is if you have like a bunch of this kind of stuff, there's nails at the bottom. Generally try to find either a washing machine or a bin, or try to dump it like in that corner or past those concrete. Don't just dump it right here, since other people park here as well. You don't want someone else literally parking on a bunch of nails. Once in a while, as I said, like that pile keeps pushing this way, and since that pile keeps pushing this way, putting nails over there is really going to be like putting nails right here in 2 weeks. But generally just try to keep it as far away from where people would park. That's just being like courteous in the scrap world. Wow, smashed it. Smashed the record. Even close this window. It's kind of windy out there. I'd probably even turn off the van. Wow, holy moly. So there she is, $162, which to some people in the scrap world might not be a lot, but as someone who does not really deal that much in copper and brass, it makes a absolute huge deal in terms of how much money you make. So yeah, aluminum cans, I had 1 pound. That whole bag was 1 pound, 32 cents. The Bear Bright copper, 15 pounds of that bucket. I was really hoping for like 20 pounds, but I guess it was 15 pounds. Since they are doing their little bonus, this should probably be around $3.50 or $3.60. It's $3.75, $56. A little bucket of sheet copper at 2 pounds, that's $6. The one motor, that was $2. I thought it weighed a little bit more, but guess it didn't weigh as much as I thought. Thought it was, usually they're about 15, 20 pounds. That one, I guess, was a really light one. That was around $2. Yellow brass, I got $20. Insulated wire, I just had a little bit of that, $6. I had a bucket of number 2 copper, which is kind of funny. If you compare the two, you got number 2 copper and insulated wire above it. That's copper insulated wire. They're the same exact weight, so that's 6 pounds. Difference, almost $20, and the other one was $6. Difference between wire and just copper pipe. And then light iron, I had some sheet aluminum. Oh, the ladder itself was $9.45. So not too bad. I mean, that ladder at the flea market, if it's in good shape, you can probably ask 20, maybe take 15, get around $10. It's not that bad of a deal. It's one of those things, you just have to have the way to transport it, because unfortunately you need a van or a truck or something large, of a large back, to kind of move one of those. But light iron, I got $42. So kind of insane, $162. That is definitely the most money I've ever made at the scrapyard. Sometimes I see tractor trailers come in here with just steel, and you kind of get a peek in, if like you're signing your name, you get a peek at what they probably get paid for that, and it's like $1,500, $2,000. So $2,000 in iron, or $162 in assorted stuff. It is what it is. But overall, really, really fun day. Fun to get here to the scrapyard. I think they are running the Earth Day promotion for another 4 or 5 days. They scratched off something on their sign, which is on that soda machine. But overall, another fun day. Saving the earth, making a little bit of money, help pay the bills, and fill up the gas tank to do some more treasures. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe down below to see where all this stuff comes from, and I'll catch you guys next time for next venture. Until next time, have a great day. Keep living the dream. Peace.